It was still night when God told Moses it was time to go. Moses told the people to get ready. They packed up their things again. All the people and animals got into line. But where could they go? The sea was in front of them. The mountains were on both sides. Pharaoh and his army were behind them. God told Moses, "Lift up your rod and put it out over the water." Moses obeyed. Right then a wind began to blow. It blew very hard. The water in the Red Sea began to divide. It piled up higher and higher on each side. The light from the cloud of fire shone on the waves. There was a road between the walls of water. You could not see the end of the long road through the Red Sea. "Go forward," Moses shouted. The people and animals started to walk. Right down to the pass through the sea they went. Children looked with wonder at the high walls of water. The great God of heaven loved them. He was saving them from Pharaoh and his army. On and on they marched. They kept going until they reached the other side. When the last person went down the pass, the cloud of fire followed slowly. While the Israelites were walking, Pharaoh and his soldiers were sleeping, and the guards were awake. They heard tramping feet. What was happening? There was no place for the people to go. The guards cried out, "The Israelites are getting away. Follow them." It was very dark and foggy in Pharaoh's camp. The Egyptian soldiers didn't know where they were going. They followed the sound of voices and tramping feet. Horses pulled the big chariots along the pass in the Red Sea. When the fog went away, the soldiers saw the big walls of water on each side of them. The wheels of the big chariots were beginning to sink in the sand. Pharaoh's army was very frightened. They tried to turn around, and it was too late. "The Israelites' God is fighting for them," they said. And it was true. God looked down sadly at Pharaoh and his soldiers. He had tried to help them know that he was a true God. He wanted them to love him, and they would not. "Put out your rod," God told Moses. Moses obeyed, and the waters of the Red Sea came crashing down on Pharaoh and his army. Not one of God's people was hurt or lost. They all stood safe on the other shore. Moses made up a song. The men sang the song with Moses. It was a song of thanks and Praise to the great God of heaven. Moses' sister, Miriam, took her tambourine and began to play and sing. The women sang with her. I will sing unto the Lord. They sang. The horse and his rider has he thrown into the sea.